A crash has this mom bent out of shape.
You ain't gonna sit up here and tell me I ain't no unfit mother.
You put your 3 minor children in your car and go drive in a vehicle that can't be stopped. You know you've been acting bad, bad, bad.
Ooh, bad girls you love to hate. Today on Judge Joe Brown.
A woman's car is caught in the crossfire between 2 bangs and a crash. Nursing assistant Taisha Johnson is suing another driver for damage to her vehicle. Defendant Carissa Henderson says the plaintiff threatened her and wanted to fight. Now it's Joe time.
Let's see, Ms. Johnson, you're suing Ms. Henderson and you allege that she had a collision with your parked motor vehicle and she has not paid the damages. Ms. Henderson, it looks like you're claiming that the plaintiff's request for compensation is in fact excessive. Is that correct?
Correct.
Let's go back to November 15th, 2012, somewhere around 9:15 p.m. Now, Ms. Johnson, anything unusual happened then?
Well, on the day of November 15th, I was at home. It was a normal day. I was preparing dinner.
That's getting into the spirit of things.
Yeah. And as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing at the stove, I hear a big boom crash. So I go and I check. I looked out the window, and I see Carissa's car. It had crashed into my car. So I ran downstairs, and her car was still there, up on the curb. My car, at this point, is on the other side of the street. So I get upset.
outside and said it's going down.
Well, why don't you wait your turn? See, your "is going down" is out of context, so it might not have the effect it otherwise would. You put that in your answer. I read that. So let's let her get her turn. And you will have the floor.
Okay.
All right. Now,
So,
you run outside to see what's going on.
Right.
And you note that your automobile had been damaged.
Yes.
All right, somebody calls the police, they arrive, information is exchanged.
Yes.
And then right now, you still haven't received compensation.
Nothing.
Okay, so you have a picture of the damaged vehicle,
Yes.
picture of her car. You have from Mark's Auto Body Repair. You have an estimate. You have receipts for tires, batteries, and imagine it's replacement studs for something in the steering
Tire.
setup of the vehicle for the wheels or whatever it may be.
Yes.
Okay, you want $2,278.20 as per the estimate to fix your 1999 Plymouth Breeze.
Yes.
All right, now let's see. Ms. Henderson, you were operating a 2007 Hyundai Sonata,
Yes.
I believe. Now, you
Correct.
tell me your side of things.
Well, I came outside. I was getting my kids in the car. My brake pads had already not been so good. I needed to get them replaced.
You'll have to deal with them. You have 3 kids, 8-year-old, 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old. You're 25. You, ma'am, Madam Plaintiff, you are 22 and have a 9-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So I imagine both of you are concerned about the safety of your children.
Yes,
Correct.
sir.
So I got in my car. I started to drive off. When I tried to stop, I couldn't stop for some reason.
Your Honor, she was arguing with her boyfriend outside.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's what was going on.
What
That
does that have
might
to
be
do
a
with-
distraction and failure to pay complete attention to what's going on.
When I pulled
now,
out,
why
we were-
couldn't you stop?
We were no longer arguing. When I pulled
Why
off,
couldn't you stop?
my brake pads will not allow me to. When
Brake
I
pads?
push my foot on
You
the
spit in her
brake,
face.
when I
She tried to
push
get
my
away.
foot on the brake, they would not stop.
Hold
You
your
were
phone.
not outside, so you cannot tell the story.
That's what
Thank
she
you.
told
Would
us.
you stop? You'll get your turn to reply. Now stop.
Okay.
You have the floor.
Okay.
So when did your brake pad suddenly go out?
Well, when I tried to put my foot on the brake, I guess I was going at a faster rate than
How
able
far
because
had you gone since you left your parking space? Or
I wasn't that far, but
How far, approximately?
I would say I was parked right here, and I was about.
I don't know
right-
how far that is. Were you 2 inches or 4 inches?
About
6
2 or 3 inches. Not that far. I wasn't that far away. But it's a corner right here where her car was parked, and I was going to turn the corner, but as I put my foot on the brake, it wouldn't stop.
Why?
I don't know why it wouldn't
If
stop.
I believe that model vehicle has disc brakes. If your pads had worn out, you'd simply score your disc, but you'd stop. So why
Well, I
is it all of
couldn't
a sudden
stop.
you couldn't stop?
I couldn't stop, and after when I wrecked
Why
and pulled-
couldn't you stop?
I just told you why.
I'm not buying that. You
Okay,
have
well,
disc
you buy
brakes,
what
so
you
if you
want,
lose up
but-
your pads, you just score the devil out of your rotors.
Well, the thing is, it couldn't stop. It ran
They
into it
squeal and they
sideswiped
make
her
a horrible
car.
noise, but you'll stop.
It didn't squeal. It didn't make a noise.
So
I
then why couldn't
stop.
you stop, or were you running your mouth off arguing with boyfriend?
No, I was already in my car. He was standing back. He was standing back
Now
on the sidewalk.
you have this from the plaintiff. She advises that you gave a statement that she overheard that you and your boyfriend were having a squabble and you were distracted.
No, that is not correct.
Well, how did you manage to run into her? She's on the other side of the corner. What's brakes have to
Because-
do with it? You had completely executed the turn. So how do you hit her?
I didn't execute the turn. I didn't turn yet. I was going, and when I was going
So how did you
up,
get behind her when you're supposed to be going
I
to the
was
corner
not
and making
behind
the
her.
turn?
I did not get behind her.
How'd you
When
hit her?
I got on the curb trying to stop my car because there was another car coming down the street. So I
Across
got
your
on-
path?
Right. So I got onto
I
the
thought
curb.
you were
and
making a
that's when
right-hand turn.
But I couldn't stop. This is what I'm telling you. I was going straight. Her car's right here.
They're
I'm
saying
right
you
here.
had a complete and abject failure of your brake system.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We'll be right back with Judge Joe Brown.
First of all, she came outside threatening me. It's going down. It's going down. Okay.
What's going down?
She wanted to fight. She wanted to fight.
Did
because
you
her
two
car
fight?
And later today,
My son went inside, and not 2 minutes later, I hear this loud screeching noise, and I thought, oh my gosh, this car's coming through the fence. Headlights shining on me. I scream, bloody murder, and I run inside, screaming, call 911, call 911.
It's Joe time after this. Bad girls you love to hate today on Judge Joe Brown.
we're back with Judge Joe Brown. The plaintiff in this case says a loud crash alerted her to trouble outside. She says she went to investigate and found the defendant had collided with her car. Let's get back to the case.
When did you first become apprised of the failure of your brake system? Then?
No, they were a little bad, but they weren't.
Little bad, what? 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 months ago?
No, about a couple of weeks.
So you were driving it with accelerating brake wear.
Yes, I was.
Ruined the rotors.
Yes, I did.
So then that's negligence per se.
Yes, I can.
So you
imagine.
hit her. So what is your
Yeah.
complaint?
My complaint is that, first of all, she came outside threatening me. It's going down. It's going down. Okay.
What's going down?
She wanted to fight. She wanted to fight.
Did
because
you
her
two
car
fight?
No, we didn't, because the police had came.
I was upset, Your Honor.
How long did the police take to get there?
About 15 minutes.
Right.
That's a hell of a lot of time to be on the verge of going down, you know, when all of a sudden 15 minutes later sounds like
Nothing
somebody
happened.
just selling wolf tickets.
Yeah.
She was selling wolf tickets.
I was
So then,
mad.
the police came.
And your children are watching mom and mom,
no,
mom on mom,
my
go throw
kids
down.
have been
All
took in
right.
the house.
They didn't see anything.
So-
They
Where were your kids? In your car?
Yes.
And then they were took in the house.
Well, yeah, so you drive your kids in a car with accelerating brake wear. In other words, you don't care. You don't even get it. Your story is absolutely preposterous to begin with, and you didn't even realize what it was backing you into a corner with. In other words, you know this vehicle isn't working. You say, it just crept up on me, but for several weeks the brakes had been going out. So with that condition, you put your 3 minor children, all under 10 years of age, in your car and go drive in a vehicle that can't be stopped. You wind up on the other side of the street because the brakes are going out. You're about to have a head-on collision with another vehicle or a T-bone collision. So that's what you do. And your children are in there. What if they'd gotten killed?
If I would have knew the brakes wouldn't have stopped.
How in the hell are they gonna go out like that? You knew they were going down.
Okay,
Because
they
I'm
weren't
not
that
buying
bad.
it without a catastrophic failure, which is not going to be applicable to a vehicle with disc brakes. And you want to get away with damage for, what did you say, $140 ought to be all you have to pay. And then over here, only thing you can recoup is the value of your property that has been lost. And your property is not worth $2,557.24 because there is, in fact, what you call depreciation. Your vehicle at best is worth $1,400. So the best you can get restored is $1,400 worth of property value. So that's what your recovery is going to be. And why don't you think sometimes before you jump into something that you don't even understand?
Can I say
One
something?
of the things that you have to deal with, whether you're sitting as a mediator, arbitrator, magistrate, judge, or justice, is public policy. Under the law, I have to abide by that. And one of the classic things on the top of the list of public policy is the interest the society has in the well-being and welfare of its children. Now, you testify that you had your children in a situation that was clear, gross negligence and recklessness. And I suggest to you that you stop trying to sit there and mislead everybody and talk about, I was not under the influence of my emotions after having this squabble with my boyfriend.
Excuse me, can I say something?
What for? You lost your life.
Okay,
by
but
your own mouth, you're responsible.
liable.
I resolved the damages. There's nothing to say. That's probably why your boyfriend left you. If you walk out of here, I'll have you found in contempt.
Foul.
Now, walk out of here. So be it. It's a $100 administrative assessment. $200. I'll donate it to you. Your total recovery will be $1,600 in your cost.
Thank you, Judge Joe Brown.
This courtroom is now in recess.
The defendant likes to make noise, especially in the middle of the night when she has bad brakes. She knew she had car issues. Now she has money issues. Plaintiff wins, so we're on to the next case.
Please raise your right hand.
Administrative assistant Carrie Hakimian is suing her neighbor for crashing into her fence. Defendant Tana Tread says the plaintiff was demanding and unreasonable.
Ms. Hakimian, you're suing one of your neighbors, Ms. Trent. You say she lost control of her vehicle and did damage to your backyard fence and yard.
Yes, sir.
You say she attempted to flee the scene, but she became known, so you seek damages.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Trent, you say your boyfriend, who is a contractor, wasn't allowed to have flexible access to the plaintiff's property and effectuate repairs, so you don't owe anything. Is that right?
Correct.
Ma'am?
On the night of October 12th, I was in
2012?
2012, yes. I was in
Yes,
the
ma'am.
backyard with my young son and our dog. And my son went inside, and not 2 minutes later, I hear this loud screeching noise, and I thought, oh my gosh, this car's coming through the fence. Because we live on a corner. We have an 8-foot board-on-board fence, and look, here comes this car crashing through the fence, headlights shining on me. I scream, bloody murder, and I run inside, screaming, call 911, call 911. My husband's inside with my son, my daughter. I pick up the phone, I call 911, I'm describing to them what's happening as I'm looking out the windows of the front and the side of my house as I see the defendant drive away down the street.
We'll be back with more Judge Joe Brown in a moment.
When did the police get you?
20 to 30 minutes later, I'd gotten back in my car to go back down and talk to them.
Had you by any chance been drinking?
It's Joe time after this.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The plaintiff in this case says she was in her backyard when a car came crashing through her fence. She says the police discovered that Perp was a neighbor and she ignored the bill for damage. Let's get back to the case.
How did you learn the identity of the culprit?
We called 911, the police department showed up.
They did an
and
investigation.
They did an investigation.
Make a long story short, the records secured.
She was arrested
And
around the
she
block.
was arrested for hit and run, leaving the scene, property damage, and spent a couple of nights in jail.
Correct.
Now, She came by and apologized,
Yes, sir.
offered to have it done by her boyfriend, right?
Correct. Yes. She came by that evening. She spoke with me. She spoke with my kids. She apologized to my kids for damaging the property of the house and fleeing the scene and not taking ownership. She then told me and my husband in the backyard that her boyfriend or fiance, she said at the time, was a general contractor, and that if he could fence the fence, that would be great because that would cut down on the labor costs for them. And we were totally fine with that.
October 18th, 2012, anything happened?
Mr. Payne came to the house to speak to my husband. He brought his tools, he measured, looked at the materials, figured out what he would need, and said he would come and repair the fence.
Did the fence get repaired?
Not by Mr. Payne.
You took care of, or your husband took care of the repairs?
We had a handyman come and fix the fence.
All right, you made out a basic case, ma'am. Let's go to Ms. Trent. Ma'am, what do you have to say?
Basically, we did, have a conversation with them. My fiance went over to, take his measurements and offer his services, and they said, yes, that would be great. And then every time he tried to make contact with them, they didn't reply or they weren't available.
All right, now when did the police get you?
refute that.
Hold on, when did the police get you?
That night,
How much later?
approximately 20 to 30 minutes later, I'd gotten back in my car to go back down and talk to them.
Had you by any chance been drinking?
No, sir.
You drink?
I do socially.
Well, there's no case they were able to get, and I can understand why. But doing what you did is a little bit too extreme an effort to compose yourself so you can go back and face the music. Besides, flight implies culpability. Were you on a cell phone?
No, sir.
Why were you distracted? Were you mad at him?
No.
Something?
No, I wasn't distracted. I just took the turn and lost control of my car.
In a residential area?
On my street, yes, sir.
On your street? And kids had just been in the yard since it's summertime, ending of summer, fall's coming up. Daylight saving time is just about ready to change, so 9 o'clock at night, it's getting twilight.
It was dark, yes, sir.
Just turned dark.
Time for kids to be in bed.
9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
9
Or at
o'clock.
least getting ready for
On a
bed,
Friday
yes.
night.
At least
Friday
getting ready
night.
for bed.
8-year-old twins.
Yes, sir.
Now see, you're going wrong again. She can make the choice of how she wants the property restored. If your boyfriend intercedes, whether or not he was able to carry the repair work out is really irrelevant if they choose not to accept that proffer.
Closed captioning for Judge Joe Brown, sponsored by... Did a wedding disaster cost you money and somebody needs to pay? Call 1-877-JOE'S-LAW or visit JudgeJoeBrown.com.
You're not accepting blame for this. They shouldn't have been in danger because they should have been in bed.
Well, no.
I
no.
don't know what it was. It's her fault. She should have let my proposal go. You see how we are deflecting responsibility here? You need to break yourself of that habit. You did it. You should pay for it. You've got a 16-year-old son. Is this how you want to teach a 16-year-old boy about responsibility?
No, sir.
So why don't you stop practicing the wrong thing and just accept the criticism? You have no defense. $808 in your cost.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. There
This
you
courtroom is now in recess.
The defendant lost control of her car and she lost control here. It's the plaintiff's fence. She gets to decide who fixes it. Judgment for the plaintiff. We'll be right back. We're back. The defendant pulled the hit and run act twice when she collided with the fence. And after agreeing to repairs, it wasn't getting done as quickly as the plaintiff liked. And it's her fence. She doesn't have to wait. To submit your case to Judge Joe Brown, visit us on Facebook or click on JudgeJoeBrown.com.